Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Priyanka Kalra. I'm a HR professional and I've helped people navigate career bumps. Today we are diving into a topic about surviving layoffs while juggling family building. I've seen firsthand the stress it causes, and trust me, knowing your options is empowering. This workshop is a toolkit for clarity, confidence, and care, whether you're expecting, trying to conceive, or already knee deep in parenthood. So let's get started. So, why am I dedicating my time to this? It's because the data and my HR experience makes me feel like this is very important. And it's just not a feeling, the stats back it up too. Family growth and career changes often happen at the same time, and it affects caregivers and especially new moms. Second concerning stats is in India alone, over 2 lakh salaried jobs were lost between 2022 and 2023. And lastly, layoffs affect caregivers, especially during or after maternity leave. Being ready is so helpful because we are aware of what could potentially happen. Okay, let's play detective. What are the warning signs at work? Think about it. Is your company restructuring often? Has anyone even mentioned your goals lately, or they keep you in the dark on your key responsibilities, or are they giving you vague feedback? All of these are red flags. And let's be honest, being pregnant or TTC adds a whole other layer. You might start wondering, am I going to be seen as less committed now? It's a real concern. And while companies should protect you, the reality is clear communication is everything. If something feels off, trust your gut. And I'll probably share an example where I had an employee who noticed her project was quietly reassigned after she announced her pregnancy. She shared this with me, and we were able to work with the company to ensure she wasn't unfairly sidelined. So it's important you raise your concerns and communicate to the right channels. Okay, let's get strategic. Staying informed is key, so keep an eye on few things. What sectors are vulnerable? Tech, startup, media often feel the heat first. Where are the growth opportunities today? Example, health tech, digital education, and fintech are booming. Track the macroeconomic reports and company earnings like a hawk, and just don't blindly trust LinkedIn. Do your research. For example, after COVID, I saw a lot of folks who were laid off from traditional retail jobs pivoting to e commerce or roles in supply chain management because the demand for online shopping skyrocketed. Those were the logistics skills or digital marketing skills that were being able to capitalize on that shift. Sometimes the risks aren't company wide, they're personal. Are you the only remote worker on your team? That can create isolation. Is your role unclear with shifting priorities? These patterns increase your vulnerability. And maternity leave, I've seen companies fail to provide clear re-onboarding plans, leaving new moms feeling lost. My advice, keep performance logs, documented feedback, and ensure all agreements about your leave and return are in writing. I've seen managers claim an employee's performance suffered due to working from home with a child, leading to pressure to resign. Document everything, allowing HR to investigate and reverse the request if managers come with this. Okay, let's talk money. As someone who's reviewed countless severance packages, I can tell you a financial cushion is gold. Aim for 6 to 9 months of expenses. It sounds daunting, but it's your security blanket. Factor in everything: housing, insurance, childcare. Use the 60-20-20 rule as a guide: 60% for needs, 20% for savings, 20% for a buffer. Get creative with saving options, but don't take unnecessary risks. I've personally automated my savings by setting up automatic transfers to a separate account each month. Even small amounts add up. During uncertain times, you need a financial triage plan. Prioritize rent, insurance, food, and childcare. Then delay anything non essential: travel, entertainment. Get ruthless with cutting expenses. Cancel subscriptions you don't use and resist impulse buying. It's about surviving until you're back on your feet. For example, I've known someone who found out that they're spending a significant amount each month on multiple OTT platform subscriptions they barely used, along with eating out frequently. Cutting back on those freed up a surprising amount of money to put towards their emergency fund. This is super important, especially when you're thinking about maternity leave or potential job loss. Now, if you're in the US, you probably heard of Cobra. Basically, it allows you to continue your employer sponsored health insurance for a limited time after you leave your job. But you usually have to pay the full premium yourself, which can be pretty pricey. So, what's that like in India? Well, it's not a direct equivalent, but it's important to find out a maternity leave plan. Read the fine print of your company policies. And if you're getting laid off, what happens to your insurance? Can you continue it? What are your COBRA options here? And if you decide to get your individual insurance, you have 30 days to act on it. So make sure you have the details with you or contact your HR for the same. Maybe your industry is in a turmoil, or maybe you're simply craving a change. Either way, career pivoting is a powerful option. Start by identifying your transferable skills. What skills do you have that can be easily transferred? Think of client handling that can be easily moved to training, where you're essentially training people, and make a resume that highlights those new changes. Don't let upskilling intimidate you. It doesn't have to be expensive. Look for free or low cost options like Google Career Certifications, Coursera, and industry specific webinars. Focus on skills that are in high demand, like data analysis, digital marketing, or project management. Note that certifications show initiative, but they are not a substitute for experience. However, I've seen candidates land interviews just because they've had relevant certification on their LinkedIn profiles. It signals that they are committed to learning and growth. Don't feel trapped by your current career. Consider alternate career paths like freelancing, consulting, or even starting your own business. Now it gets easier to get clients as a parental paced micromanaging consultant in your domain. The key is to leverage your existing skills and network. I know a former HR director who launched a successful consulting business helping small companies develop their HR policies, and she loves the flexibility and control it gives her. Let's get real. Job loss is emotionally draining, whether it's a layoff, a company restructure, or even just the fear of one. It takes a huge toll. I've had countless people through this journey, and I know it's okay and normal to feel a whole range of emotions. You might feel angry at the company, sad about losing your job and colleagues, scared about your future, or overwhelmed by the practicalities of finding a new job. The most important thing is to acknowledge these emotions. Don't try to be strong and suppress them. Bottling them up only makes things worse in the long run. Allow yourself to grieve the loss of your job, and just like you would have grieved for any other significant loss. Find healthy ways to process these feelings. Talk to a therapist or a counselor. They can provide a safe and confidential space for exploring your emotions and developing coping strategies. Consider joining a support group. Connecting with others who are going through similar experiences can be incredibly validating and helpful. Or simply find a trusted friend or family member who's a good listener and can offer a shoulder to lean on. One tool that you can use in difficult times is the REST model. Reflect on what you're feeling and then express it to someone you trust or even a therapist. Build 3 non negotiables and set a 30-day action goal. All of these are great ways of improving the resilience. Navigating career challenges, especially during family building years, is rarely a solo journey. Building a diverse support network is crucial. Think of it as assembling your own personal advisory board. And here's why each type of connection is valuable. For example, start with mentors at work. A mentor can offer guidance, advice, and perspective on your current role and career path within the company. They can help you navigate office politics, identify opportunities, and develop your skill. Former managers, don't underestimate the value of supervisors. They know your strengths, work ethics, and potential. They can provide valuable references, offer insights into different industries or roles, and connect you with people in their network. The next one is HR business partners who can provide information about your company policies, benefits, and internal opportunities. They can also give you valuable resources for addressing workplace concerns or navigating difficult situations. And also, don't forget to connect with your peers who are going through similar experiences, and they can be incredibly validating and empowering. Look for an industry specific group for parents, or group for those experiencing job loss. Maternity transitions, for example, at Hera, the team is there to support and advise specifically for women navigating the challenges and balancing career and motherhood. The more diverse your network is, the more perspectives and resources you'll have to access. Don't be afraid to reach out and connect with people. You never know where it might lead you. Take charge of your career by using proactive planning tools. Update your resume and LinkedIn profile. Highlight your accomplishments and skills. Engage in side projects or blogs to showcase your expertise. Join professional networking groups to expand your connections, or even just connecting with peers in office once in a while outside of work. It's all about building a strong professional foundation. Okay, as we wrap up, let's remember the key takeaways from today's session. Parenthood and layoffs often overlap. Prepare both financially and mentally. The reality in these events can happen simultaneously. Being proactive about your finances and your mental well being is crucial. Emergency funds, insurance, and skill pivots are your first line of protection. These are the tools that will help you weather the storm. Build your financial safety net, ensure you have adequate insurance coverage, and be ready to adapt to your skills to new opportunities. You can transition careers, many parents do. Don't feel stuck in your current role or industry. Career transitions are possible, and many parents successfully navigate them. Don't suffer in silence. Use HR, mentors, and therapy. You're not alone in this. Reach out to your support network for guidance, advice, and emotional support. And you're more than your title. Your resilience is a professional asset. Your worth is not defined by your job title. Your resilience, adaptability, and determination are valuable assets that will help you succeed in any situation. Thank you for participating in this workshop. Remember, you're not alone, and these are the resources and support available to help you navigate these challenges. Hope this was helpful.